Hello, powerful one. Welcome to yet a belated edition of Inner Growth, which says you are enemy. Whether circumstances permit or not, we will keep this conversation going from my end. I apologize for the long break again, but we will strike this rhythm very soon and we go back to our old consistency. I have chosen today to speak about the new year. There is magic in the air. We don't need to be told that. There is something about the end of the year that just speaks to every heart and makes everyone feel connected in a certain way. I don't know what the thing is, but I think there is a reason Christmas was fixed in December. There is a reason that this season is what it is. Someone said that it is a period in time when there is a shift, and that the powers of the new year are now taking responsibility for renewal. And at that time, they are willing to listen to what people are saying. I am not saying that is the correct thing, but then what exactly is correct in this life anymore? But there is one thing that is correct, and it is what you see as correct. So, we are in the magical season of the year where we take stock of our lives, where we begin to look at what worked and what did not work, which aspect of our lives worked and which aspect did not. We want to watch and see why what worked and what did not work, and see how we can apply the part that worked into other areas that did not work in the new year. A lot of us are making resolutions in the new year. Beautiful things. And yes, they are beautiful, because what is so important about the human life is the ability for renewal, ability for transformation, for changing, for correction. It's a beautiful possibility that makes us human. But there is a problem. We all think that for us to change our lives, we have to do things outwardly. Isn't that why you set goals? You take a pad, you write out, or you go to your system, go to the notepad and write out all the things you intend to achieve in the new year. Yeah, you want to achieve things in the new year. After writing the goals, you set out the modalities, how you are going to achieve these goals. And then at the end of the year, towards the middle of the year, then you look and you begin to either rejoice and celebrate, or you begin to panic and look for why and who caused what. Then the year ends and you want to start all over again. But this is what I intend to tell you. The new year is not the calendar. It's not the change of calendar. It is not the change of the dates. What makes a new year is your mindset. It is the change of your frame of reference. How do you see yourself in relation to your life's goals? How comfortable are you with your secret self-image? What are the stories you have been telling yourself in the areas of relationship, career, money, health? What have you been telling yourself secretly that nobody hears? But you see, when you start opening your mouth to talk, the trained mind will notice your stories that are secrets to you that you do not dare tell people. Some words, some phrases make consistent, persistent your occurrences in what you say. On the basis of that, we are able to know your secret self stories that are either working or not working. When you are in your saddest moment, what do you say? When things are not working for you, I don't understand, I just don't know, I don't know. What have I done? Why me? Why is it always like this? Now, all these expressions are pointing to one thing. You have surrendered the causative factor, this causative power to something outside your control. How come you think that you are subject to external manipulation, to external impulses of life? That is not how to be human. Animals can be subjected to the external impulses of their lives. Even Animals can also define how the external impulses affect them. An animal can decide to be in a cage and fight the cage and knock against the cage and complain and bark and scream and bleat and whatever. An animal can decide to stay in the cage calmly and just take it as it comes, and in the process avoid unnecessary energy expenditure. It's all left to everyone. But the human being has what it takes to live beyond the circumstances of their lives, beyond the physical, material circumstances of their lives. This is what we are talking about today. Reframing your life. How do you see it? For you, the new year is a new set of experiences of life. You want life to be better than it has ever been. That is the new in your year. That's okay. But I repeat this, that the new in your year is not on the newness of the calendar or of the dating system. The newness in your year is the newness of your frame. It's the newness in how you see yourself. It is the newness of how you see things that have been happening to you and things that are happening to you right now. It is that understanding, that belief, that accepted understanding of the relationship between yourself, your life, your environment, and your God. This frame of reference is what determines your life and its experiences. Now, you will be asking, if it is that easy, why is everybody not living a beautiful life? This is where the challenge comes in. Do you hold on to the frame that you've created, or you live outside the frame once you create the frame? Are you even able to effectively create a frame? You see, the old year does not end in December, not even December 31st. Neither does the new year begin on January 1st. It doesn't begin that way. But you see, the old year ends the moment you determine within you to change your frame, how you see yourself and your circumstances. Let me explain. The old year ends the moment you decide to change the story that frames your life. And the new year begins when you begin to tell that story to yourself mentally again and again. And when you engage in conversations with people about life, that story keeps driving your thing. It keeps driving your life. You see, a lot of the times people do not know that hidden within every phrase that they utter or write, hidden within every feeling that they accommodate, that they are very comfortable with, is a story. That story is not comfortable because it creates a comfortable life experience for them. No, it is comfortable because it is learned. It is something they have been used to. Discomfort comes when they are prodded to change the story. They think it is impossible. It is difficult. This is why a lot of people are not comfortable with self-help books. In fact, on Facebook recently, I heard a friend say he hated self-help with every fiber of his being. And the reason he gave was that they are too idyllic. That's interesting. And when I read it, I felt very pain for the person, because what the person is actually saying is that he hates to run his life on the basis of his own self-evolved stories. That what has been handed down to him by the circumstances of his birth, his religion, and social connections are just okay, even if his life is okay or not. The understanding that your life is not an accident, that you are in the forefront of its creation, is what self-help is all about. It's about saying that the relationship you have had so far, the experiences you've had so far in the areas of relationship, health, money, etc. are things that are hinged on past experiences that you have accepted. A lot of us are going through experiences for too long. There's a particular experience you'll be going through for so long. You have attended prayers, you have even fasted. Some of you have gone somewhere trying to transform, to change these experiences, and they have persisted. The reason they have remained are of two versions. The first one is that the story that created these experiences have remained with you. And how did you create those stories? You had an experience once or twice, and then you concluded on the basis of these experiences that this is what you are going through right now. And in all the stories you have been telling yourself and in all the conversations you are having with people, that event, that occurrence has become the definer. So this is why I will ask again, how do you see yourself right now in relation to all the things that have not worked in your life? How do you see yourself in relation to them? I'll give you another example. I remember some years back, I was invited to a club, the Rotary Club. I attended it and I saw how guys were donating money to causes, social causes, helping society improve lives. I loved the idea so well, but I told myself I'm not yet rich. I don't have this kind of money yet, but when I have money, oh goodness, I am going to come back to this club and I will donate happily. I pulled out. What did I just do by that pulling that I was telling myself, I am not it? Now, a lot of the times we make decisions on the basis of what stories our lives have been writing. But you see, we have to make a decision to rewrite that story by moving away from the mindset and interpretations that emphasize and foreground these stories. I know of a lady who was going through some times in her life. Her finances were zero. She was approaching bankruptcy. And then she came across this secret that life is about giving. If you want to get, you have to give. And in fact, today we're studying some of the ancient mystics, and we came across a beautiful mystic, Lord Kabir. He said, as long as we are in this body, we just keep giving, and giving. That life is about giving. Whether you like it or not, that's what you do. You are giving out vibes. You are giving out how people should see you. And as you give these things out, life is picking them and creating things for you. You have heard it said that when life throws lemons at you, make lemonade. Now stop seeing life doing things to you. Now, if you throw lemons at life, life will give you lemonades. Life is not happening to you. You are happening to life. You are a life agent. You are not the effect of life. Life is an effect of you. Your life experiences are your own creation. When you define yourself on the basis of how you are right now, you are emphasizing how you are right now for the future. Today I was talking to a friend of mine who has not been feeling so well. I was telling him what he would do later in the new year about an event in his family. And he was telling me he won't be able to do it because of his ill health. Here was I talking to somebody about tomorrow. And this person has already seen tomorrow on the basis of today, and therefore said he could not do that thing because today's reality will still be in his life tomorrow. That's definition. You are not supposed to live your life that way. You should have hope. And the hope you should have is the hope of improvement, the hope of transformation. Like I did many years ago, say, I will join Rotary when my current financial situation changes. Who said I couldn't have changed it that day? Now, how do you do these things? You give, like that lady did. You know her? She's the one that wrote The Secret, Rhonda Byrne. She said the last money she had in her bank account, she took it, changed them to lower denominations, $5, $1, and she went down the streets and handed the money to people she may never see again. Not only did she hand the money out, she was blessing the people with the money. It was her last. It's the same thing that happened to Elijah, the lady, I think the widow The widow, I don't know, it was in Zarephath. All she had was the cruse of oil and a jar of flour. So the prophet told the woman, go and borrow, but borrow not a few. Who borrows? Somebody who has the capacity to pay back. But you see, the borrowing she was borrowing, not a borrowing that will give her a liability, but a borrowing to create a room to contain the blessing that was imminent in her life. So please, I tell you, borrow sense. Stop seeing yourself the way you are right now. If you don't like the way you are right now, change it. Now, the challenge here is that changing your life story is difficult and sometimes painful, but you have to do it. You have to change the way you think. You have to even change your routine in life, because that life experience you are having right now dictated the routine that you are having in your life now. If you will take your mind back to before that experience started happening in your life, you had a certain routine. But the moment this thing started happening to you, your routine was rescheduled, was reshuffled by that experience, and you have now begun to live life like that. You need to change that routine. When you change your routine, the way you feel about life, about your body, will also change. When Rhonda Byrne started giving out the money, she felt good. Now, this is the point. Feeling good is the basis of transformation. It's the basis of changing your life. Feel good about your environment. I've often said this, that if your life is shitty right now, feel good about the fact that you were so powerful at some point in the time to create a shitty life. Accepting that also means that you are acknowledging your power to change, to affect your life. Now listen, my friend. Life is on 4 strata. You have the spirit stratum or soul stratum. You have the mental stratum. You have the body or the animal stratum. And then finally, you have the social or environmental stratum. Which of these should drive your reality? Certainly not the social or environmental, which a lot of people are doing. They wait for the budget. They wait for increment in salaries at their places of work. They wait for promotion. Their lives are run on the basis. They even wait for a job. You are much more than all of these things. Environment should not, but rather, you cannot use the body. How you are feeling in your body right now cannot dictate how you should think your life. Rather, change how you are feeling at that point in time, whether it's healthy or not. Change. Mental, which is the beginning. If you allow your life to be dictated by the mental stratum, you can actually change your physicality, change your finances, and change your social responses, how society responds to you. But the greatest level to live is to live at the level, at the stratum of the spirit, which changes all things. See, this is where mindset comes in. This is what we are talking about in self-help. You are a product of the supreme being, who calls those things that are not as though they were, and they come into existence. So also is your life. The supreme being is the uncaused cause. Nothing can cause the supreme being. Nothing in the supreme being's environment can condition the supreme being. Rather, it is the supreme being that changes their environment. In that same way, because you are a product of this being, the being has designed you to create your own reality. It is a daily focus. You keep changing the frame, how you see yourself. The other reason you are not able to change the frame of your life is that you are so used to the flow of the past, so that changing it becomes laborious. But of course, what would you rather do? Labor effectively and consistently on transforming your life, and it will transform, and then you can enjoy the fruit later. But again, the idea of enjoying the fruit later is also defeatist. It is now. Your life has no past, has no future. It is just now, because life is a present. It's in the moment. So your transformation begins now. Your new year begins now if you want it to happen. Change your stories. Change how you see it. Stop talking about what did not work in your life. Stop talking about the mistakes of people, the errors of people, the criminalities around you, how your society is. Stop it. and begin to focus on how you want your life to be. It is a beauty that you have as a life. It is a fantastic gift. Enjoy it and make the best of it. Happy New Year, my friend. God bless.